Welcome all. My name is Rahul Bal. Today I will talk about artificial neural network. Artificial neural network, that is ANN, is the basic unit of deep learning. So first we will see what is neuron and what is neural network. So neuron, in analogous to biology, we have a structure like this. So where at the center we have neuron, and the axon is acting as a transmitter for neuron, while the dendroids is acting as a receiver. So there are multiple neurons, they are connected to each other through axon and dendroids. So same way we have the structure in technological form, where we take a feature as a neuron or a data as a neuron, and we connect the data together, the features together, and then predict the other result or predict our output. So this is how our biological neuron is analogous to technological neuron. The same way we are having the neural network in form of the technological model, that is machine learning model, deep learning model. So here I have drawn a structure where we have some layers. So initially we have the input layer in which we have the data. So these circles are nothing but the data, different data, or we can say features, which are acting as a neurons individually. So let's say this is feature 1, this is feature 2, and this is feature 3. So all these features are acting individually as a neurons. So in this case, we have the 3 neurons. So this is a group like structure or a layered like structure. That's why this is input layer. Now next is the hidden layer. Similar to input layer, we have the hidden layer, which consists of again the neurons, the group of neurons, which are connected to previous layer and to the next layer. And at last we have one structure which is output. So again it is neuron, but it is producing the output, that is predicted value. So this layer is called as output layer. Usually the output layer contains only one neuron. So this is the structure of neuron, that's why it is called as neural network. And since we are artificially developing this, that's why it is called as artificial neural network. So here input layer is represented by X, whereas the output layer will produce the output which is Y cap, that is the prediction. So X is nothing but input here. X is input, Y is output, and Y cap is predicted output. Y cap is predicted output. So here all the neurons of input are connected to hidden layer, and then the output of hidden layer is connected to output layer. So no, here we need to discuss some features or some functions of neural networks. So first of all, we have a function called as activation function. So what activates these neurons? So we require something to activate this. So for that we require some function. That functions are called as activation functions. So there are multiple activation functions. I have drawn the required activation function which we normally use in ANN design or deep learning model design. So here we have threshold function. So the equation of this function is initially it will remain 0 till x equal less than 0. After x greater than 0, it will become 1. The next activation function here is sigmoid function. The equation of sigmoid function is given as 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus x. Then next is hyperbolic time function, where we have the equation 1 minus e to the power minus 2x divided by 1 plus e to the power 2x. And at last we have rectangular function, which is like a rectifier function, which is like a initially it is 0 and then it is going up. It's a linear function. So it is similar to linear function, but initially it is 0. And this is the equation for rectifier function, maximum of x comma 0. So why these functions are required? These functions are required to activate these neurons. Right? Now the simple example of artificial neural network we can give is, for example, we want to predict the price of the house, and price of house is depending on various parameters like the location, the number of rooms, and the age of that property, all these things. So all these input parameters we will consider as an individual neurons. So here maybe the location will be your first neuron, then the number of rooms in that particular house will be the second feature, that is second neuron, and third will be the age of that property will be the third feature. So for the customers, they may have different preferences. So for example, this customer is requiring that the age of the property should be less and the number of rooms should be more. So that particular customer is having the constant for number of rooms and age of the property. So the location is not the preference for that particular customer. So for that particular customer, only these two will have the preference, and according to that, these neurons will get activated, and that result will go to the output. So this is how our neural network works. Now for this, we require to transfer the data from one layer to another layer. So to transfer the data from one layer to another layer, we require something that will get the data together to the next level. So for that, we are using weights. So weights are nothing but the numbers which, when multiplied by input, will activate the next layer, right? So here W is indicated by the weight. Now here W1 I am indicating as a weight matrix. So the number of weights which we are using for this will be some numeric values, some numbers like 0.5, 0.7 like this, and that will be multiplied by the value of the neuron, and then this multiplication together will approach to the next layer. So this is what we do while processing. Similarly, the output of this layer will get multiplied by the weights for the next layer, and then that will activate the next layer. So what you have to do, you have to multiply the neuron value with weights value to activate the next layer. So this is what the processing is. So there are basically two types of processes we have in artificial neural network. One is forward propagation and second is backward propagation. Forward propagation means your information is forwarding from input towards the output through hidden layer. And in backward propagation, if your predicted output is not accurate or it is not same to expected output, then you have to modify these weights. So the weight modification comes under the backward propagation. So we'll discuss one by one. First, we'll discuss forward propagation. In forward propagation, we have two types of processes. First is pre-activation and second is activation. In pre-activation case, you have to multiply weights with neuron values. So here Z2, this 2 indicates the layer number. So this is layer number 2. That's why I have used 2 here. And the Z is nothing but for this layer, which is hidden layer. So Z2 is obtained by multiplying the values of input neurons with weights. So X, it is a matrix actually. It consists of the values of all the neurons present in that particular layer. So X multiplied by the matrix of weights. W1 indicates the matrix of or the vector of weights, which we are using for this layer. And then it will multiply these two to produce Z. Now this is called as pre-activation. This is called as pre-activation. And next is the activation. So in activation part, we have to use any one of these activation functions. Depending on the complexity of your problem or application, you have to use any one of these activation function to activate that. So this is just a product. This is just a product, but we need to activate. So for that we require the activation function. So I have written phi. Phi is for activation function. And then what we are passing this Z2 in activation function to produce the output, which is A2. So this is the activated value now. So that means these neurons are active now, right? So it will produce A2, which is activated value. Now this activated value we have to multiply with the weights of second neuron as a pre-activation state. So here I have written Z3, that is A2 multiplied by the matrix W2. W2 contains the weights of these layers, and then we will get Z3, which is here at the last step. And again, to activate this output, we have to apply activation function. So phi of Z3. So I have to apply this Z3 to the activation function for the last layer, which will produce the output, which is predicted value. The predicted value is represented by y cap. So y cap is nothing but predicted value. Now your actual value is y. So there is a term called cost function. So cost function is denoted by C, which is equal to actual minus predicted square divided by 2. So this is what the mathematical equation for cost function is, and we have to keep this C as low as possible. We have to keep cost function as low as possible because this difference should be minimum. Actual value should be equal to predicted value. So there is the difference should be as low as possible. That's why the ideally it should be 0. Ideal value of C should be 0. So this is what we do in forward propagation. We are processing the information from input layer to output layer through hidden layer. Now in backward propagation, we focus on cost function. If your cost function is not zero or it is not near to zero, it is high value, then you need to update the weights. So in back propagation, we need to update the weights. So how to update the weight? First, we have to observe the value of cost function with respect to weights. So the cost function value should be minimum. This value should be minimum. This is the value of cost function. So till that time you are getting the minimum value, you have to modify the weights. So that many iterations you have to perform till you get the minimum value of cost function. So for that we are using the approach called gradient descent. In gradient descent, what we do, we take the differentiation of C with respect to W. W indicates weights, C indicates cost function. If the differentiation is positive, that means it is increasing in nature. This is increasing in nature. If it is negative, that means it is decreasing in nature. So you have to find the minimum value. So you have to find the lowest value of this. That means it should be decreased. Now what we will do here, we will calculate WC with respect to every weight which we are using, and then finally we are summing all the weights, all the differentiation. This is called as batch gradient descent. So normally we use batch gradient descent approach to get the value of W with respect to cost function, and that W will get finalized. The value of W for which the value of cost function is less, that W will be finalized, and that will be the updated value of W, which we will use for our processing. So the weight updation is nothing but back propagation. Once you get the C, but if it is bigger value, you have to modify the weights. Again, you have to do the same process of forward propagation. Again, calculate C. If C is again bigger, again modify the weights. Again, calculate all the values according to forward propagation till you get the minimum value of cost function. So this is the overall process of artificial neural network, in which we are using forward propagation as well as backward propagation. So I hope you have got some idea regarding artificial neural network in this session. Thank you.